Top 10 Richest People in History. There's always someone richer than you, but how could someone be so filthy rich? If you're thinking we're talking about rappers or Saudi kings, well, wait till you watch this video. Because today, we will reveal the names of the top 10 richest people in history. Stay tuned to watch your brain explode. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with more entertaining videos. Number 10. Cornelius Vanderbilt, $185 billion. Worth $185 billion, Cornelius Vanderbilt is at number 10 on the list. Well, the one on number 1 must be unrealistically crazy rich. A name in American history that cannot be forgotten no matter what is Cornelius Vanderbilt, the man who is responsible for establishing the foundations of amazing railroads and shipping lines we have today. He laid the foundations of these transport systems back during the 1800s. Other than that, he's also the founder of Vanderbilt University, and his family name still carries a lot of power and emphasis to date. Even the CNN anchor Anderson Cooper is part of the Vanderbilt family. During his heyday, Cornelius Vanderbilt's wealth reached an approximate $185 billion. Most of it accumulated later in life as he expanded his railroad empire following the Civil War. Number 9. Henry Ford, $199 billion. Who doesn't dream of owning a Ford? Imagine having that beauty standing in your garage, but you need to make some good cash for that. Imagine the amount of cash the owner of Ford made through his business. One of the major figures in American business history, Henry Ford was able to put together a net worth almost reaching $200 billion. Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, is known for bringing automobiles to the masses. He brought a total revolution in the transport industry, not only making sure that his automobiles were known worldwide, but also instituting higher wages for his workers. Henry Ford was amongst the first people to develop the concept of an assembly line that allowed the manufacturing of inexpensive goods that made it affordable to the masses. Number 8. Muammar Gaddafi, $200 billion. Muammar Gaddafi, the one person who almost everyone is familiar with, is the recently deceased and overthrown ruler of the North African country of Libya, is one of the richest people to ever walk on earth. Gaddafi has managed to earn a vast fortune of $200 billion throughout his 42-acre tenure while ruling over Libya. A highly controversial and unpopular politician and ruler, the event of overthrowing Gaddafi was one of the most famous events in 2011 during the Libyan Civil War, where he was dragged into the streets and killed by revolutionaries. Number 7. William the Conqueror, $209 billion to $229 billion. Known for becoming the first ever Norman King of England, William reigned from 1066 until 1087. William the Conqueror's wealth has been estimated to be anywhere between $209 billion to $229 billion. Now that's a huge range. Upon reaching his teens, he was knighted by the king, and later in 1064, he conquered Brittany and Maine. He earned his title of the Conqueror after he led the final successful invasion of England, becoming a monarch after setting out to depose of one. He was also known as William the Bastard and is thought to have been a descendant of Viking invaders from years before, which explains where he got his knack for invasion. Number 6. Jakob Fugger, $221 billion. Jakob Fugger, also known as Jakob Fugger the Rich, is not like any other historical figure compared to many other members of the wealthiest people to ever walk on Earth. Jakob Fugger was able to hoard $221 billion through his merchant and banking skills. The German national Fugger lived from 1459 until 1525. The ultimate jaw-dropping fortune was made mostly through textile trading in Italy and through extensive mining of silver and gold in Hungary and Bohemia. Number 5. Mir Osman Ali Khan, $230 billion. One of the highly wealthy people of Hyderabad, not a lot of people have ever heard of Mir Osman Ali Khan. But one thing you must know about him is that he is without a doubt one of the wealthiest people the world has ever known. As the ruler of the Hyderabad state in India, he managed to expand his wealth to a total of $230 billion. After the death of his father in 1911, Mir Osman became Nizam of Hyderabad and reigned for 37 years, overseeing the expansion of education, electricity, and railroads in the region. He died in 1967, survived by his reported 149 children. Number 4. Nikolai Alexandrov Romanov, $300 billion. Commonly known as Tsar Nicholas II, Nikolai Alexandrov Romanov is known to earn a great fortune of $300 billion during his tenure. Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia before the country fell during the Russian Revolution, was famous for his tenure but was executed in 1918 along with his entire family by the rebels. Nicholas II became famous as a saint recognized by the Russian Orthodox Church and is known as the wealthiest saint in human history today. Number 3. Andrew Carnegie, $310 billion. Andrew Carnegie, another far-fetched, wealthy, and an extremely powerful industrialist that got under the spotlight during the mid-1800s for his service for the steel industry. Born in Scotland, Carnegie initially came from family that faced tough times, earning enough to have a meal once a day after they entered the United States in the late 1840s. Carnegie had to struggle and strive very hard for the position in life he is known for today. After successfully investing in various different business ventures, Carnegie became the founder of the U.S. Steel Corporation, an industry that helped him earn most of the wealth that contributed to his $310 billion fortune. Number 2. John D. Rockefeller, $340 billion. John D. Rockefeller, a name that is one of the most prominent names deeply ingrained in American history, while Rockefeller's astounding $340 billion fortune still stands today as nearly the largest sum of money owned by a man in the world has ever seen. Born in 1839 in New York, he grew to prominence over his lifetime as the co-founder of Standard Oil. Popularly known as one of the revolutionaries in field of the energy and petroleum industries, Rockefeller is also known for his philanthropy, founding 2 colleges during his lifetime, the University of Chicago and Rockefeller University. He passed away in 1937 at the age of 97, making his name stand on the list of the wealthiest men to ever live. Number 1. Mansa Musa, $400 billion. Far beyond one's imagination of the wealthiest men to ever live stands Mansa Musa, also known as Musa I of Mali. As the popular emperor of the Mali Empire, Musa commanded a fortune worth a jaw-dropping $400 billion. To be more accurate, to give you a clearer idea, this amount is worth more than 4 times the current richest person in the world. Born in 1280, Musa lived until 1337 as a devout practicing Muslim who constructed a great number of educational centers and mosques across Africa, one of which is a prominent building in Timbuktu. Being that Musa's reign was so long ago, there are still varying reports about his death and abdication of the throne to his son as the monarchy worked back in the times. However, no one has been able to come even close to the amount of wealth Musa presided over. Until date, he remains the wealthiest person to ever walk on Earth. Are you still shaking as we were after knowing the net worth of these 10 individuals? Are we the only ones? Or are you thinking what we're thinking? How did they earn billions? Not even millions, but billions. Is money becoming just a number too, like age? Well, we don't think so because we don't have that number as far as we know. If you like this video, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with such interesting future videos.